Okay, we are live. Great. It's good to be back, you guys. I'm Donovan Saadiq, the recovering Democrat. I'm unapologetic from the Demetra K Show. If you guys check me out there, we usually meet up on Sundays, 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 5 p.m. Central Time. We have just surpassed on her platform 20,000 subscribers, and we did it the hard way. It's all because of you guys. Again, it's been a long trip, but we're still going, and we did it the hard way. What do I mean by we did it the hard way? We did it without having to show any TNA. Demetra didn't have to stand up and twerk or do any of that craziness. I didn't have to take my shirt off, which you guys don't want that to happen. And we just did it every day, being consistent, just doing what we need to do and get the information out. And we have surpassed 20,000 subscribers, and we're so thankful for that. And you guys, I know a lot of people are gonna be like, oh, that's no big deal, 20,000 subscribers, anybody could do that. Man, you could do that on, whatever. You're absolutely right. You can. OG Fritz Roy, welcome, brother, welcome. I'm not going to be too long on this because I have to educate some people on what happened here in California. But it is very hard to get 20,000 subscribers, because it's easy to get 20,000 subscribers when you're talking entertainment and sports, and you're doing things that most people want to get away from, escapism. You're talking entertainment, sports, celebrity news, but when you're talking actual life issues that affect people, especially Black people, there ain't much interest in that. Because nobody wants to hear the truth. The truth is kryptonite to a lot of people. So congratulations to my compadre, Demetra K. I remember when we started with 13 people. And out of that 13, I would say at least 10 of them were her friends. Okay. And long story short, I happened to have, she was on Facebook, and I happened to have, gone into her chat. And I was listening to her, and I said, wow, she's saying some really good stuff here. I said, and then I called her up and I said, hey, you need to start a podcast. You need to start doing it, because I had already started my podcast. And she was like, no, I don't want to do it. And I literally begged this woman and bothered her for over a year. And she finally said, okay, we'll do it, whatever. But big thanks really goes to her mother, who spoke it into existence and told her she was going to do some kind of journalistic project, be it something going on there. Hey, Cooking with Miss D, how are you? So her mother really spoke it into existence, and then everything just kind of fell into place, and here we are today. So good for her. Again, I still do my show on my own podcast. I do my own stuff to kind of separate. But we've been, doing it for a while. And, I was talking to somebody today about it because they were congratulating us. And I said, and please like, share, and subscribe this on your platforms. And they were asking me, oh, congratulations on your $20,000. And I said, well, it's mostly Demetra. She's the knowledgeable one. I'm basically there. I'm basically on her show for comedy relief and woman candy. I'm there to get the women just to tune in to see the brother, in all his glory, the muscles. So again, we didn't have to show any TNA, but we do strategically place people in positions. And Demetra's a pretty good looking woman herself, so that does help bring people to the channel as well. So again, thank you guys for the congratulations. It was a long slog. Yeah, Cooking with Miss D. Yeah, I've kind of gotten away from my show a lot because there's really not much really left to say. I'm really big in local politics where I live, and I have a platform here that the politicians are afraid of. Eunice Williams, hey, how are you doing? Welcome back. So I have a platform here where the politicians do not want to be highlighted. And this is why I'm on this live right now. I'm going to talk about a local politician that's a piece of shit. And his name is Corey Jackson. So let me show you guys a little bit about this young man who is nothing but a dirty snake in a ass. And he is one of those politicians that actually sold out Black people. Let's see. I don't know if you guys can see him here. Can you guys see him? You guys wait. Hold on. Let me go to this thing real quick. I just want to verify, because I'm supposed to go to the library today, and there's going to be something very interesting that's going to happen at the library today, in my local library in the mall. And I'm going to go check something out there, because we had a complaint by an elderly lady that, you know, some things were going on in the mall and she got removed, and she shouldn't have gotten removed because you're in public. And they removed her for whatever reasons. And I'm going to go and investigate what is going on in this lady's. Okay, here I am. There we go. Okay, there we go. So yeah, okay, great. All right, I just want to make sure we are on. Okay. Okay, there we go. Thank you guys. You know, I'm not as technical as you guys think I am. What you're looking at is Representative Corey Jackson, and I can't read your comments because I'm on the share, and that's the only way I can get it, because I couldn't get the. Anyway, I can't read your comments right now, so hold your comments until, or I'll read them when I get off of it. How about that? So you were looking at a wolf in sheep's clothing. Notice that this Negro, he is one of the people that prevented the vote to come to the floor. He did not want a vote to be taken because, according to the California CBC, Gavin Newsom was going to veto it. And this is where I come into it. Notice this Negro has the nerve to wear DeKente cloth accessory to his shirt. This nigga knows nothing about Africa. Nothing. Because if he did, he would understand what unity means. He is the assembly member in the 60th district. And I'm going to tell those people who are in the 60th district, just like me, to vote Ron Edwards. Vote Ron Edwards. We can no longer allow these black politicians who are supposed to go in there and do our work. Our work. These are the Negroes that come into the churches. Oh, vote for me. I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. And they don't deliver. But they deliver for everybody else. Now, Corey Jackson is a member of the LGBTQ community. Whenever a bill comes to the LGBTQ community, he has no problem voting for that, has no problem worrying about the funding. Now, if you guys know anything about how a bill works, when a bill, it takes a very long time for a bill to come to the floor or be eligible to come to the floor. It takes a very, very long time. It goes through several committees. One of those committees is a finance committee. If the finance committee says, yes, this is feasible, this is something that could be done, it moves on to the next committee, whatever it is, and then it finally reaches the floor for a vote. We did not get a vote. We did not get a vote, you guys. And here's the problem with that. Gavin Newsom is a Democratic governor. So you've got two problematic problems here. And this is the playbook that the California CBC is trying to do with ignorant black people and uneducated black people and black people that just don't live in California, don't really give a damn what happens out here. And they should. Because if a precedent is set in one state, you could use that in your state. And it could be a model of how you can get reparations in your state. So when I see people that don't live in my state talk about, well, it's just California, Cali weird for, you know, Holly weird and all this other stuff, you're hurting yourself. Okay. Let's say Gavin Newsom was going to veto the bill. Let him veto it. Because here's what everybody keeps forgetting. See, this is why I tell you guys all the time, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful. A lot of you guys, except our viewers on the Demetra K show and some of you guys that watch my show, a lot of you guys are only politically aware every 4 years, every presidential election, that's when you become politically aware, and you're really not aware. You really don't know what the hell's going on. That's why if you listen to people from California, they're telling you about Kamala Harris, but you don't want to hear it. But anyway, I digress. So let's just say Gavin Newsom vetoes the bill. Okay. He vetoed the bill. So what happens to the bill? It goes back down to the assembly, and I'm going to break it down in two ways for you guys. It goes back down to the California Assembly. Got a question for you. Cannot the California Assembly override a governor's veto? I'll wait. Yes, they can. We have a state that is super majority Democrat. So let Gavin Newsom veto the bill. So what? You can override his veto. Or is it the fact that you've got Hispanic, Asian, white, and some blacks like this Negro who don't want black people to have reparations, but they keep telling us we need to vote for more Democrats. We need to get a majority. We need to do that. We have all that here in California. We have it all. So why didn't black people get reparations? Why are black people continually voting for a party that is obviously doesn't want to do anything for them? It is Democratic policy, if you're looking at California, to not give black people anything no matter what. So for some of you every 4-year politically aware people, let's go there. The national level. The bill passes the Senate. It passes the House. It gets sent to the president's desk. He vetoes it. Goes right back. Cannot the Congress, and I believe it's the Senate, override a presidential veto? I'll wait. Yes, they can. Yes, they can. Especially if they have a supermajority. But in the Congress, it's usually 50-50. They usually don't have a supermajority. But the point is, the way government works is they can override a veto if they have the majority. If they have the votes, they can override it. So what is the excuse for the California CBC not to put that vote on the floor? Either way it went, black people should have gotten reparations. Everybody keeps forgetting that last step. Well, the governor was going to veto it. The president was going to veto it. California is a supermajority Democratic state. What else do I got to tell you? Do you guys realize there are only 18 members of the California Assembly that are Republican? 18. There are only 14 black California Assembly members. What does that tell you? But the state is Democratic. So basically, the legislator can override the governor in just about any bill it puts to the floor. Doesn't matter what his veto does. If they've got the votes and they're all on accord, they can override his veto. So you mean to tell me a Democratic governor was going to veto the bill, and then you have a majority Democratic Assembly, and they wasn't going to override it, but they're going to give all this money to the illegals? But this guy right here, this guy that you're looking at, this is Corey Jackson, assembly member of the 60th district in California, my district. We also got Mark Takano, Congressman Mark Takano. Both of these gentlemen are intertwined. What do I mean? I believe Mr. Jackson had previously worked for Mark Takano on his campaign or something. They're entwined some way, somehow. They're both openly LGBTQ. I am just amazed at how people who are in the minority interest group, LGBTQ is a minority interest group, could piggyback off of Black people and use affirmative action and all the other civil rights things that Black people died and bled for their benefit. And then when we need them to show up, they stab us in the back. This is Corey Jackson. He's asking to be reelected. You would be a damn fool as a Black person in the 60th district of the California Assembly to reelect this man if you look like me and you have Black skin. This is a wolf in sheep's clothing. I had a podcast and I had been telling you guys years ago, Black politicians ain't shit. This is what I mean. He's one of those guys. He's a piece of shit. And I stand by that. So anyway, let's get back to our regularly scheduled program. So now I can read you guys' comments. All right, let me get that. Let me read your comments first. But do you guys get the point of what I was saying? Do you guys, I mean, it's evident. It is evident what they are doing. Okay? So Eunice says, I'm doing amazing. Thank you. Ashley Barber, welcome. Hello, family. Ashley Barber, how's everybody doing today? We're doing great. It is 103 degrees. It's a lot cooler today. I think I can go outside and, wash my car. It's kind of crazy. We got up to like 122 in some areas where I live. It's called the Inland Empire. And it's outside of LA, about 60 miles pushed out. And, we're basically the start of the desert. So where we start is where like Phoenix and, the desert starts, and it just gets hot, hot, hot. Cooking with me, Miss D says, I'm so disappointed in my people. Yeah, it's disappointing, but what it also is showing, Miss D, is we need to be independent. Both of these parties need to work hard for our votes. We should not be loyal to one party anymore. And any Black politician that goes up there and does not do the work for us should not be reelected. They should be thrown out in disgrace or whatever, and we go to the next one. And we keep making examples. Now, Ron Edwards, who's in my district, he's a Republican. I'm not a Republican. But his platform, I agree with. Family values and stuff. I am sick and tired of the Democrats shoving LGBTQ down my throat. Live your life. I don't care what you do in your bedroom, because you definitely don't want to know what I do in mine. Lack of, and the disrespect toward Black men, the abortion stuff, I'm sick of it. And I'm a Christian. And a lot of my friends who are super Christians and they're really sweet people, I am just appalled that they call themselves Democrats and will defend Democrat leaders and servants and whatever the deal is. Kamala Harris is pushing abortion agenda, but yet you're a super Christian and all this love and we should be doing all this, but you're going against the tenements of what God has said. And I'm not a religious person, so I'm shocked. But people could vote the way they vote. Wow, Ralph Warnock, how could you be a pastor and a man of God and you're pro-choice? Which he means is he's for women killing their children. Doesn't make any sense. OG Fritz Roy, California is the reason why all these states are decriminalizing cannabis. Exactly. And we know when you decriminalize cannabis, I've never, ever seen anybody on weed that is motivated. It demotivates people, and that's the way they want it, to where they can hire all these other people. You fire this person, then you hire other people. Cooking with Miss D says, education is the key for us to do and be better. He purposely ambushed the bill. His day will come along with the rest of the coons. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. They keep telling us in our baby boomer generation, and they don't know any better, When I was growing up, I was told, and I'm a Generation Xer, I was told that if you get a college degree, you're going to get a good job. That might have been true at one time, but it's a lie. Telling young people to go to college is just a scam to be in debt and to hold that debt. And that's what it is. I'm not saying don't go to college. I have 12, 13 degrees. I don't know. I stopped counting. And the reason I got 12 and 13 degrees is because I socked it to the military. If I'm going to be in there and they're going to take my youth from me, F them. I'm going to get everything I could from the military. And thank goodness I had parents that guided me, and they were military people themselves. So I knew the ins and outs. If you have relatives, young people that are going into the military right now, you need to tell them when they go to sick call to get a copy of that record and keep it, because when they get out, I guarantee you, because it happened to me, things in their medical records will be removed, and it's going to make it that much harder for you to get your VA benefits. I had to sit and show them, why is it that I have this record and you don't have it in my official records? They couldn't explain it. I still haven't got an explanation till this very day of the documents that were missing out of my official records. Eunice says, that is really sick, sad, and satanic. Some of us can be our own worst enemy at times. God is watching. They will reap what they sow. You know, and the sad thing is, Eunice, the sad thing is, you guys, if you don't live in California, you need to look at California to what happened. Black people have been gentrified basically out of the state. And as a political voting bloc, we have no say-so. I just told you guys, there are only 14 Black members of the California CBC. 14. This is the most expansive state as far as population. There are only 14 members of the California CBC, and they ain't shit. Politically, Black people are irrelevant in California. This is what they're trying to do all across this nation. We're warning you guys, wake up. Please wake up. Stop it. Cori Bush just lost her thing. Some of you guys are getting it, but it's almost too late at this point. JJ Mars, too many of our folks are politically stupid and are easily bought for a few bucks. Yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate. Hey, CJ. Hey, she says, hey, Mr. Donovan. Dr. Donovan. No, I'll take the mister. I'll take the mister. You say doctor, I might be in a bigger tax bracket. I don't want to pay no taxes. One of those back to Africa con artists, right? No, well, he isn't really, JJ, he isn't really back to Africa, but he knows the Black people that have been gentrified out of LA, they come out to the Inland Empire. So that's a bunch of cities outside of LA, and they buy a house out here, which is a lot cheaper than buying one in LA. So these Negroes don't know any better. They just want Black faces in high places. And he really caters to the older Black generation because they don't know no better. They think, oh, wow, you know, he's one of those guys, you know, blah, blah, blah. The guy is fruity as I don't know what. So, and I don't care if you're fruity. I don't care. But you're supposed to do our work. Like I said, he had no problem voting for illegals. He had no problem voting for the gay agenda. None of these problems. But the Black agenda, he openly went out. He was one of the 9 people that openly supported not bringing that bill to the floor. And again, they depend on us being stupid. But some of us, like myself, I'm a political junkie. I just broke it down for you. You have a supermajority. Can't they override the governor's veto? Yes, they can. Or is it the fact that there are a lot of Democrats that don't want Black people to have reparations? And that has been the Democratic Party's mantra since the Civil War. They fought a civil war to keep Black people, well, one of the many reasons that they fought the Civil War. But one of the main core reasons was to keep slavery intact. Don't believe all that hyperbole salad they try to put on the edges of why the Civil War was fought. The core reason was they wanted to keep that cheap labor intact. Without it, it wouldn't work. Their money would stop. They don't have the resources. They needed the labor. So Cooking with Miss D, I understand. Eunice is absolutely just terrible. JB1 says, hey, hi JB1. CJ, facts, vote for policies, not popularity. I vote my pocketbook. I live in California. Not that I don't love my people. I do, but I can't save you if I can't save myself. Do you know how many homeless people are homeless because they tried to save family members and weren't thinking about themselves first? Yeah, I brought my cousin in to live with me. He refused to pay any rent. And then, this started happening and that started happening. How many of you guys have stories like that? Because our family members, I don't really believe they do it intentionally, but how many of you guys should know better? I would never rent any properties to any of my relatives or friends. Never. Especially my family, because they think you're family and they don't have to pay the rent or they don't have to pay it in full. Come on, cuz, you got me. Come on, cuz, we family, Come on, I'm a little, I'm going on this boat trip next week and I know I owe you money, but could you slide me? Come on, we all got that. Do you know how many people are homeless here in California? Black people are homeless in here, California, because of situations like that, helping out family members and friends. That money would have even the playing field for a lot of Black people. The majority of Black people in California that are homeless are Black. It's sad. This man is a wolf in sheep's clothing. Yeah, CJ, Christians in name only. I agree. Cooking with Miss D. Vanjie's Tusing. Hope I said that right. I'm with you. Your average logical thinker. Fact. Weed makes you complacent. Exactly. And by the way, you guys go check out Your Average Logical Thinker. She has a platform on YouTube as well. Longtime listener to our show, Demetra K Show. And let me tell you, she doesn't necessarily talk, and she's a veteran. She doesn't necessarily talk like political, but she talks about things like relationships and just things that, you might want to think of. And I go to her channel sometimes just to get away from politics, just to get a different perspective. But we've got to support each other in regards to these YouTube channels and stuff like that. Like I said, even if you don't really listen to my channel, because I don't come on here all the time, but just subscribe and like. Nobody says you got to, watch the stuff all the time, whatever. Just let's support each other. Let's be there for each other. CJ says, boomers still believe it. Weed just makes me hungry. Yeah, I mean, it affects people. And like I said, I'm not downing anybody that uses cannabis. I'm not doing that. I just wish they would hurry up and legalize prostitution. That because they go hand in hand. Once the weed is done, it's a matter of the prostitution. And it's kind of hypocritical if you think about it logically. It's illegal for two adults 18 and above, to engage in a transactional relationship where money is exchanged behind closed doors where nobody can see them, but it's perfectly all right to deem yourself a porn star and do it for money on camera, or to do OnlyFans, or to do it, on what these platforms are. I mean, to me, that just makes no sense. You're criminalizing what people do behind closed doors, but if they do it openly, just think about that. So, hey, Cooking with Miss D says, wow, only Pamela's way. Hey, y'all. Cooking with me, awareness is the key, and what you are saying will help us in our state. Yeah, I mean, if people really got to start thinking about that. Yeah, they could have overridden the governor's veto. Pounds of facts, Donovan, Beverly White. Hey, Miss Beverly, haven't seen you in a minute. Thanks for telling us what's going on in California with the government. Your logical thinker says, you know what they are doing, trying not to pay up. Exactly. They don't want to pay. And again, in California, there is actually a coalition of Hispanic and Asian coalition that is out to stop Black people from getting reparations. Look it up. Google it. They do not want Black people because they do not want the playing field to either be leveled or us to surpass them. Think about if you would have got reparations for a lot of people, that would have paid off student debt, that would have paid rent, that would have made people get a home. I mean, all kinds of stuff. Now, are some of us going to trick the money off? Of course we are. People are going to be who they are. So there are a lot of Black politicians who really hate their own people. Exactly. But see, Cooking with Miss D, what I don't understand is, how do these people keep getting elected? How do they even get elected? Who's that young chick in Texas who is just drinking the whole Democratic Kool-Aid? I'm like, how did she even get elected? You can tell she ain't for Black people. Yeah, the whole reparation, the whole exposition demonstrated it all. Yeah, the whole thing, CJ, it was crazy. TMH is showing us the treacherous, wait, I forgot what that stands for. Treacherous behavior of some that look like us. Exactly. Y'all get the likes up. Yes, please get the likes up, but I'm not really into like the likes and stuff because unfortunately, I am one of those people that worked hard as a young man. I worked 2 jobs while I was in the military. I'm not trying to brag on myself, but I'm financially going to be okay. I'm going to be okay. I don't really worry about much. I'm going to live in California. I own my home. I'm a very humble person. I'm not a name brand, as my mom used to say, label hoe. I'm not a label hoe. I don't care about that. I just want to get to and from my destination. It's not the clothes that makes the person. It's the person that makes the clothes. That's how I was raised, Your average logical thinker. Yep, I have family members who got evicted due to other family members causing havoc. Exactly. And I hate to laugh, but it's true. It's true. And, it's sad. We try to help each other out, and this is what happens, I'm Pamela Donovan. I'm going to email with some information. Yeah, always email me. Arnab Advance, greetings, Donovan and family. Your logical thinker, Arnab, you guys talk to each other. Wait a minute, Donovan. I see a ring. Yeah, I have a ring. But what hand is it on? What hand is it on? Think about that. Legalize prostitution. At this point, why not? And that's what I'm saying. The government could make money off of it in taxes. Now, your average logical thinker, damn well as a military person, when you go overseas to Germany, England, France, the Netherlands, Belgium, Denmark, they have red light districts. You go to a lot of Asian countries, they have like red light districts and stuff like that. Of course, some of the Caribbean countries, like the Dominican Republic, there's no such thing as prostitution. But again, makes sense to me. 2 adults, as long as you're not a minor, you do what you need to do. Western countries have these red light districts. As long as you're in that area, you're good to go. The girls are safe. It takes the criminality out of it, and the government get taxes off of it. What's wrong with that? I think it's hypocritical. You've got girls out here, ladies out here that want to be sex workers. It's quick and easy money. I can see, from that aspect. And you got an unlimited base of customers because men are programmed to mate with as many women as possible. Unfortunately, for a lot of us, finances kind of reduces that possibility. But in general, that's how men are programmed. So why not? But again, these other countries, they're making taxes off of it. Why not? Tony Barnes says, I will do a protest vote. Is done. Yeah, we got to get him out of there. Then you won't have to go to the DR. Right. I can stay right here. Exactly. We keep US dollars in the United States rather than going across the seas and giving it away. Oh my God. Oh my God. Eunice says, that part right there, some of us that are wise and leveling up even now, they do not want to see us get one red cent because they know what we would do with it. We will either be equal or outdo them. That's right. Cooking with Miss D, that's exactly what they are doing. The Asian Hispanic population decided to come together. Yeah, they came together and they have a coalition that is against Black people getting reparations. And guess what their moniker is? Well, we had nothing to do with reparations. Why should we have to pay? Well, I had nothing to do with illegal immigration. Why do I have to pay? See what I mean? We could, go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So, yeah, you got a veteran right there. Oh, yeah. Average Logical Thinker says, oh, yeah, my male friends had a lot of fun overseas. And your average logical thinker, think about all those dudes that went overseas, right? They came back, got out of service, and then they went back to go live. Some of them didn't even come back to the United States, Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, Cooking with Miss D, we have no allies. We're out here by ourselves. Thunder, what's up? Only Pamela, the left, right? Exactly, the left. Yeah, and the right means what? Exactly. So one hand means you're married, one hand means you're single or divorced. So they got to go. What did I miss? You didn't miss much, Thunder. I'm not going to be on here long because I have some other place to go, but I just wanted to explain the basic political process and what everybody keeps forgetting. A supermajority Democratic Assembly in California could have overridden Gavin Newsom's veto if that's what he was threatening. So why didn't they put the reparations bill on the floor for a vote? Why didn't they do it? Okay, he vetoes it. Okay, we got our vote. We know where Gavin Newsom stands, right? You might expose some Democrats that are against reparations. Again, that coalition, that Asian whatever coalition, it's going to expose who they are, and we will deal with them accordingly. But the point is, we should have at least gotten a vote. There's no excuse why that bill should not have passed if the Democrats are really the party of Black people. That's my point. That's what I want you guys to understand. If the Democrats really are the party of Black people, and we're supposed to vote as many Democrats as we can, see, that's what y'all don't understand. There's not enough Democrats to do anything when we need bills and we need things. How the hell do you explain California? Supermajority Democrat, Democratic governor. Why would a Democratic governor veto a bill for the most loyal member of his party? Because the Democrats are for Black people. That's the Black person's party, right? I'm just trying to understand it. I want to understand. But even if he did do it, you have the votes to override his veto. And nobody's talking about that. Roland Martin covered it a little bit, and he stops at Gavin Newsom's veto, like Gavin Newsom was the final arbiter of what happens. Basic civics. With the president vetoes a bill and the House has enough votes to override that veto, it becomes law. Very simple. Anyway, you guys, Pamela's Way, too bad we gone get them reparations. Yep. The Asian Hispanics, Cooking with Misty says, Asians and Hispanics have some nerve trying to stop our cause after all that we have done for them. Exactly. That's what I'm trying to tell people. Whenever a Black person gets murdered, how many Hispanics do you see outraged and making a statement saying, oh my God, we got to do something? You never see them, but let something happen to them and you see all the Black bootlicks out there. Oh, it's outrageous. We got to come together. Fuck that. Fuck that. CJ says pay to pay policy. Oh my God, typos galore today. It's okay. Yeah, it's pay to play. Exactly. Policy. Roy says Corey's a POS. Say it ain't so. And Roy is a long time resident in this area. I mean, he goes back a long time. And if anybody knows, if I'm lying about Corey Jackson, this man would know it. The guy is a piece of shit, and I don't care what his sexuality is or whatever. I don't care if you're for reparations. I don't care if you're against reparations. But the fact of the matter is, we should have gotten a vote on the floor. My issue is the fact that after all of those committees, we didn't even get a vote. We didn't give a vote. I don't give a damn if Gavin Newsom vetoes it, because I knew the assembly, a super Democratic majority, should have overridden his veto, or it's going to expose those Democrats that are against Black people. Think about it. Your average logical thinker says, yep, my homeboy bought a Korean juicy girl out of her contract and married her and moved to the Philippines. Still there 15 years later. Yep. Hey, Angela Destiny and Roy, they do not give a F about anyone but themselves. Exactly. And like I said, and Roy's been fighting the fight here in our area for a very long time. And I'm telling you, these people are being exposed all the time. So don't want to take up too much of your time. I just wanted to get that out there and explain it. Do me a favor, like, share, and subscribe, and share this on your platforms, because Corey Jackson is a piece of shit. He is. He's a gay piece of shit. I'm going to say it. You're a gay piece of shit, because I don't know how you could be for LGBTQ and you stand up for them, and then you won't do for people that you are born to. That's the worst type of traitor. That's the worst. I couldn't trust this guy as far as I can throw him. You had no business stopping that bill from going to the floor. That's my issue with you. But you did, and you exposed yourself. You have no issue with illegals getting millions of my tax dollars. Lineage-based reparations is pennies to what you were willing to give the illegals. It's pennies. You're a piece of shit, Corey Jackson. I'm not done with you yet. Only Pamela the Way says all of them, from the tap dancing, other groups, been on our open enemy the whole time, and some allow them to infiltrate their groups. Crazy. Exactly. And I want you guys to understand, if this is being done in California by the California CBC, what the hell do you think they're doing at the national level in the congressional CBC? My podcast, Black Politicians Ain't Shit, this is what I was exposing. Their congressional records. They aren't doing anything for us. How dare you talk about John Lewis? He's an icon. John Lewis ain't shit. I'm talking about his congressional record. I'm not talking about a civil rights record. His congressional record. As a civil servant, that man ain't shit. So again, I'm sorry to break you guys' hearts, but that is how civic government works. Do not let these people play in your face and tell you, well, there's nothing we could do. Gavin was gonna veto the bill. Come on, y'all. Y'all are smarter than that, especially if you're from California. And I want you guys to start questioning the national CBC, because if they're doing it here, what the hell do you think they're doing on the national level? Have you guys noticed not one of them have said anything in regards to what happened in California, because it exposed them. It exposed them. So now you guys are waking up, because if you didn't know that information, now you do. Now you do. You need to ask them if voting for more Democrats is going to be better for Black people. Explain California. That's all you got to say. That's all you got to say. That's all you got to say. And they can't explain it. So you mean to tell me all of this super majority Democratic state, I'm a Black person, a loyal Black Democrat, and I can't get reparations, but an illegal alien can come over here and get everything? Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. I'm done with it. I'm done with it. Corey Jackson, you're a piece of shit. You guys have a nice day. Dimitri just jumped on the platform. Yes, I'm going in. I'm going in deep. So again, you guys, share, like, subscribe. mean, this is the playbook, you guys, and it's been a playbook for a very long time. So I hope you guys, if you didn't know that, or you just stopped at the governor blaming Gavin Newsom. No, don't blame Gavin Newsom. Yeah, he's a Democrat, but don't blame him, because they could have overridden that veto. So, you guys, thank you guys for tuning in. I got to go. It's getting hotter out here. I got to go to the library because a resident in my city has been having some problems at the library, and it's a public library in the mall. And I have to go make sure that the security officers understand what public means. It doesn't matter if the mall is owned by another entity. Once the government owns it or rents from them, it's public. And the library, which is a satellite library in that mall, that's public. You could do whatever you want in there. You can film, photography, whatever. So I'm going to go push the boundaries a little bit. So if I end up going to jail, because unfortunately a lot of police officers don't know anything but arrest, it's okay. I'm willing to go to jail, but guess what? It's $25,000 because my rights were violated if I end up going to jail. Minimum $25,000. And I'm not going up there to try to go to jail. I'm going up there to educate these security officers over there. So again, you guys, spread the word, talk to your families, and just explain that very simple concept that I explained to you right then and there. You guys, just explain it. It isn't astrophysics. It's very simple. Wait a minute. If Gavin Newsom vetoes a bill and he's a Democrat and the assembly is super Democrat, they could have overrode the bill, but they didn't. But it's got to get to the floor first. Do you see? And they bailed them out, basically. So again, you guys, be blessed. Please forgive the profanity. It's getting hot in here politically. A lot of people are waking up, and that is the whole premise. Don't forget to check out Demetra and I tomorrow and Wednesday. We're going to be out there 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That's 5 p.m. Central Time. Don't know what we're going to be talking about tomorrow, but we will be talking about some stuff. And then our standard show on Sundays, 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 5 p.m. Central Time. Great topics. Check out the African Diaspora News channel. Your Average Logical Thinker. Check out her YouTube channel. Check out Miss Sweet Talks. She has a great spiritual YouTube page. And if any of you guys have YouTube pages on there, and let us know, and we're going to share them and get people to just go and subscribe and like and get your likes up and all that other stuff. It's getting rough out here for everybody. And I'm just going to say personally, for me as a man, I could not be a man and not stand up for my people and at least do the best I could before I walk away, because there is going to come a time where I'm going to walk away. And, and I have to walk away because like right now here in California, Black people are irrelevant. We're irrelevant. So you guys know what I'm doing? I am brushing up on my Spanish because that is the only way I could communicate with my neighbors. And it wasn't like this 40 years ago. So if you don't live in this state, look at California as a model to what they are doing to your state and be cognizant of it. You do not want to turn into a California. I don't care how you vote, but just know this: Kamala Harris is a California politician. She's a first-generation American. She's for open borders. Just know that. That's detrimental to Black people. All right, you guys, have a good night. Otis Simmons says, F. John Lewis, set the standard. We expect better and more from the CBC. That part. Talk to you guys later.